All right, so Tracy, I'm going to show you, we're going to have to do it on the whiteboard because Trello is not cooperating at all with me at the moment. It won't even open up, but I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. So this came up when we were talking about narrowing down your niche. So with your North Pole to New York City. So we're going to start at the beginning and then we'll get to the Trello part. So you have your North Pole to New York City, and North Pole, again, is our read magnet, then our lead magnet, which is the opt-in, intro offer, which is a lower price point. New York City is our higher price point. And the goal being, how do I get someone from the freezing cold North Pole to spending all their money with me in New York City? And when you are a service provider, you are very often reacting to the referrals that come in, reacting to people saying, oh, I'd like to purchase this. And they're not necessarily every one size fits all. The reason that you are a service provider is that you're providing the customization that someone needs as they are purchasing whatever it is you do. So you're like, oh, I can do this and this and this, but for clients it's different. So when you start to try to narrow down your niche in terms of what you want, what you are selling, what you're providing, you have to have a way to keep the financial oxygen streaming, coming through, meaning you're taking the referrals, you're doing the work, but at the same point, knowing what is it that I really want to sell? I only want to sell these things and not all the things that might at the moment be cluttering this up. So what I do, I call it the Trello breadcrumbs. So I do use Trello. So these are going to be my makeshift Trello boards. And, when you're setting up, when I use it, because when I'm doing client work, you'll have a card and it'll be like, okay, let's set up their membership. So something that I do quite often, set up my membership. And so I'll have all these things that need to be done. So when I take somebody on, they would get a card, put a little person on this card, they'd get the checklist, da-da-da-da. Now, as you're working with the person, as you're doing the different jobs, what you start to do is you really come up with your own system, but you start coming up with, I like this, and I don't like this. So it can either be at the person level. So as an example, I don't like working with people that are in crisis when that is the first relationship I have with them. That is very different than someone that I have an existing relationship with and a crisis happens. For me, those are totally different. So if someone reaches out, and this was the same when I was in law, oh my gosh, I need to get this, trademark issue fixed by tomorrow morning. I'm not your person. One, you have no idea how much this is going to cost you for this. One, it won't be done by tomorrow morning, but you're not my person, because they're making decisions based on fear and crisis and panic. They're not thinking straight. Like it's a disaster. Versus someone that says, hey, I have this great idea I'm thinking of doing, and we talk it through. That is my person. But I definitely had to work with a few panicked people to realize I'm not working with you anymore. Now, my personality and where my business was at, I really had the luxury of, once I decided I didn't like you, I just never took another thing again. Like, I didn't like that, I'm never taking another one on again. But as a business owner, I also had already been in the business realm for 15, 16 years at that point. So I had learned how to say no from my corporate days. So it wasn't, oh, I just, did this all within the first few weeks. So all of us will have different response times, but you have to have a way of saying, I didn't like that. I don't want to take that on again. And it might be the case where, you started with 10 clients like that. And then the next quarter, you only took on 6. and the next quarter you only took on 4, and then finally you get your way down to you don't have any more of that client. So it can be a gradual, it can also be a cold turkey. You are the Trello breadcrumbs come into play so that you can keep track of what is it that you didn't like. Was it the quality of the person? Was it the way that they operated? Or was it the nature of the work? That's the other big piece. So like, don't like can be at the person level, and it can be at the work level. What do you like doing? What do you not like doing? So that, oh, I took that on and that was the worst thing ever. Like, you find yourself procrastinating. You do everything else except what needs to get done. That's a sure sign you don't like that, versus some other kind of project where you sit down and 6 hours later, you're like, oh my gosh, I thought it was like half an hour. So you're keeping track of, and I just do it on the Trello cards, learned this the hard way, that now I can look at whether it's a task or a person and go, yep, I like it, or no, I don't. And in Trello, you can use labels. So, and I apologize that I can't get Trello to open at the moment, but in Trello, you can use labels. So you can put yes, and then you can do client work. You can say no, client work. You could say yes, project website. You could say project membership. You could say project design. Like whatever it is that you do, because it also allows you to start to see what the packages are. Like, okay, what is this package? I know for trademark, one, I don't file them anymore. My goal is to get you on the front end. Either get the brand so strong that we're in a Spanx position or a Kodak position, meaning we made up the name and we're going to sail right through in terms of getting it approved, or I have figured out a way that you don't even need a trademark. But I know as part of that, you need a brand board, you need brand colors, you need brand words, you need brand phrases. So someone might say, oh, well, I just want this. I know for myself that the legal end of what I can do for them means nothing if they don't have the rest of it. So again, by keeping track of my likes, don't likes, I won't sell it to you. Like, I will only sell you what I know provides the solution. And there's sometimes people like, oh, but I don't want this. Can I just buy that? Sure, from somebody else. From me, this is the only way I'm selling it to you, because I know, and that's why we're the experts in whatever we do. We have the ability to know what is it that they have to have in order to make this work. And if you split it out and sell it individually, absolutely good. If you say, you know what, if I sell it individually and they don't buy this, is that going to negatively impact their experience with what they do buy from me? If the answer is yes, then you think through worst case. Oh, okay, so they buy this, that's great. But without this, this really doesn't work. So when this doesn't work, guess who they're going to blame? You. They're not going to blame the fact that they didn't choose to purchase this other thing. All they have to go on is their experience with you right here. So that's where I use Trello boards. Like I said, like Trello breadcrumbs. If I'm trying to narrow down my niche as a service provider to what is my North Pole to New York City that I want people to be on, and then knowing what kind of things do I enjoy doing? I'm going to keep doing those. Where do they go? What are the price points? What are the time continuums? And then what do I not like? And when it's on my radar of I don't like this, when am I going to stop doing it? If I need to phase it out because the financial oxygen is a reality, then you work out what's your phase out? My phase out is I'm not taking on any more than 6 next month. Then month after that is 4. And I will tell you that when you say no to what you don't want, you are truly saying yes to what you do want, because you have a finite amount of what you can provide. So if I say, oh, here's my phase out plan, and you know what, I'm taking on, or I'm doing another 10. Oh, come on. Come on. I'm doing another 10. I ignored my own rule and I took on another 10. Well, then that's going to keep taking up your space. Whereas if you say, you know what, I'm saying no because I have to make this space available for what I do want to be able to be purchased. Universe will fill up a void. I have a few fingers that live in the, woo world, just a few, not the whole body, not both hands, but a little bit for sure, that if I don't want to file trademarks anymore, which I made that decision about 3 years ago, I had to stop saying no, yes to filing them. And they were thousands and thousands of dollars each, but I had very specific reasons. So nope, not doing it anymore. But I knew what I wanted to fill the void with. And so when you're saying, I don't like this, first is noticing, what is it that I don't like? Did I just have a bad day, but I really do like this client work, or I really do like this project work? Or do I truly not like this? The Trello board allows you to keep track of it. I also keep track of time. We grossly underestimate our time. That's why I use Trello. I know Kajabi inside and out. I know my realm of legal inside and out. I still use checklists so that I don't wander, because I want to bill for the project. I don't want it to take 3 times as long and not know how long it's taking me, so that the better you are, the better you can estimate, which you run into as a service provider. And knowing, okay, if I want to keep doing, I'll use myself as an example. So here, lead magnet, we'll use PBK. So PBK lives as the intro. All right, this is $59 a month. This is the membership. Lead magnet is the free product strategy, which is the free Kajabi resource library, or these daily lives, which we have twice a year, daily lives with the Facebook group, but not all the time. Free product strategy is on all the time. But then New York City is my one-on-one work or my 1-to small group work. So I know with my one-on-one work, I absolutely love it. It's where I get to do complex things. It's where I get to work with people one-on-one. I absolutely love it, but I will not do more than 2 a month. So each one is equal to a 2-day period for me. So 4 days a month is when that can happen. It's very set dates. It's very set times. I don't adjust it. As a service provider, people say, oh, but aren't you going to lose business? And I got to accommodate it. No, because you end up letting someone else run your life. And I operated like this prior to January of 19, but January 7th, 2019, I was in the emergency room and I was in the ICU for a whole week after that. You get very clear when you come up against your own life-changing moments of who's running this show. Are you running your life? Are you running your business? Or are you flexing to someone else? So the Trello board makes it easier to track it. And the breadcrumbs are simply me tracking. How much time? Do I like it? Do I not like it? What part of it did I like? What part of it didn't I like? So it's truly leaving yourself a digital breadcrumb trail on what you want to do. Questions? I said, sorry, I can't show it to you on Trello, but Trello is just it's not happy today. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, I'm here. My room is really dark, so you won't be able to see my face.
You are fine. You are totally fine.
And I'm trying to mute because my kids are all over the place.
I think all of us know what that's like.
Yes.
I sent mine to the basement with my husband. I was like, okay, I really need you to entertain them for the next hour. Please go downstairs.
I kind of came in a little on the tail end, so I'm excited to watch the playback on YouTube.
Perfect. Yeah, this was, I had mentioned to Tracy, because we had talked about it on another call. What is it? How do you do it when you offer all kinds of different services to all kinds of different people, and you're trying to move some portion of it like into a DIY offering or a DIY with help, and you're trying to be able to package services that you might offer in a way that allows you to really get to the point where you're designing your North Pole to New York City. So the best way that I personally figured it out for myself was I use Trello for everything. You guys are probably picking up on that. I go to the Kajabi checklists, just like I give you guys. I copy the card, I add it to the client's board, and I do the work. Like I never regurgitate, like never reinventing the wheel ever. And so that's how I was like, oh, well, why don't I just keep track of it? Because I already said yes. So it's not like I can't not do this project or not work with this person, but this might be the last time I do this, or it might be one of the last times that I do it. So it just allowed me to have a system to know why we're not doing this anymore, or why we love this and we would like to do a whole lot more of this kind of a thing. So it works both ways. So that's what it was. And I told Tracy to just ask me about it and I could do it. So
nice.
I did it like as a bonus today.
Yeah, I was never familiar with Trello until watching your videos. I didn't even know it exists, or the Loom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trello is an amazing, amazing tool for businesses. Absolutely. Everything can go on there, and you can have boards for projects and you can have boards for social media posting, and it's definitely such a leverager of your time. You can sell the boards, like you can sell access to them. You can use them as a lead magnet. I have a few that are templated boards on like different scenarios. And so you can sell them. They can be intro products, they can be lead magnets, they can be internal boards. And if you have really amazing systems and processes as a business, you suddenly look at it and go, I think I could make some money selling this to somebody else. So it's a very, and since it's, free, I mean, really, you can pay it if you want some of the upgraded features, but you can really use it just as the free version. It's just, I'm a huge fan, huge fan of Trello. And I'm not an Asana fan. Asana never made any sense to me. I have tried repeatedly. My brain to Asana is like some people's brains to Kajabi. Like it just, no matter what you do, it makes no sense. So that's why I've stuck with Trello. Any other questions? No?
The only other question I would have would be about the rest of this week. Do you kind of have a lineup of what you're going to be